Hey all you fabulous foobs, welcome to another episode of Foobs and Fitness. Being told that you have cancer is a terrifying moment in life, and knowing that you may lose your hair is just another scary thing to add on top of it. To those who are not facing a cancer diagnosis, this statement probably comes off extremely vain, but to those who are receiving certain chemotherapies, the fear is very real. In today's episode, we're going to go over how to manage this battle so you can become more comfortable and more confident while being bald. Did you know that hair loss is one of the side effects that both men and women fear the most after they've been diagnosed with cancer? It's not nausea, it's not the crippling pain, it's not even the fatigue, but the fact that they can lose their hair. Being bald is a symbol to the world that you're sick and battling cancer. Certain chemo treatments will cause you to lose the hair on not only your head, but your eyebrows, your eyelashes, and even your nose hairs. Now note, not all chemotherapies will cause this side effect, but most of them will. And this can be extremely frightening to face because now you're living that I look sick mentality. And if you look sick, more often than not, you will feel sick. And for those of you who aren't comfortable with sharing your diagnosis with others, this side effect can become a far more frightening experience. Some people may say, oh well, just wear a wig or wrap your head, it's just hair. But it's not just hair though. For women especially, our hair is our pride and joy. We've lived our lives for the past X amount of years looking in the mirror and seeing this person day in and day out. This part of treatment is an extremely emotional period in our lives. I cried when I had to shave my head, as do many others. You're allowed to be sad. You are allowed to grieve the loss of the person you knew before you became diagnosed. As I watched the hair on my head fall to the ground, I took that time to say goodbye to the me that I had always known. Piece by piece, parts of me fell to the ground and just got swept up and thrown out. So to those who just say that it's just hair, please know that it most certainly is not. Now, there are a few ways that you can potentially stop your hair from falling out if you're receiving these particular chemo drugs that cause hair loss as a side effect. Many insurances, though, probably won't cover it, especially without a fight. Scalp cooling caps, or otherwise known as cold capping, can be used while receiving chemotherapy at your treatment center. It's like a fitted ice cap that gets placed on your head in order to slow the blood flow to your scalp. The thought process that's behind this is to constrict the blood vessels in that particular area so that chemotherapy drugs are less likely to have an effect on your hair. They also do this with Taxol specifically, where you ice your hands and you ice your feet to help with neuropathy. There are also some catch-22s with this cold capping that you probably should be aware of. If you decide to go for this choice, please know that you're probably going to be cold, like really cold. Some people have actually reported that using the caps cause more headaches than usual. The other caveat is there's also a very small risk of cancer reoccurring in your scalp because it's not getting the same dose as chemo that the rest of your body is getting. Make sure you go over everything with your medical team though to ensure that you're choosing the best option for you. If you opt not to go through with the cold capping, you can do some things prior to starting chemo that allows you to have some sort of control of your life again, or at least that's how I look at it. For example, I dyed my hair magenta pink and cut it into a super short bob. I never had short hair before. Obviously when I was a kid I did, but not in my adult years. And by doing this, it helped me to get used to not having it so long. I also asked one of my really good friends to come with me to try on different wigs so we could make a date of it. We tried on so many wigs and I knew 90% of them were nothing I would ever even entertain in choosing. But it was fun. And eventually I decided on a really beautiful style and color. After my first round of chemo, I just went and buzzed it all off because I wanted to dictate when I'd lose my hair, not cancer, because cancer is not in control. I am. Finally, it became so unbelievably uncomfortable and itchy that I decided it was time to go completely bald, and I had my husband do the honors. Honestly, I never even wore the wig. I never took into consideration that the induced menopause would make me so uncomfortable. And the last thing that I wanted was to wear this long, heavy wig on top of my head. Not everyone feels like this though. I rocked the bald when I was hot, and I wore various beanies when I was cold. I know a lot of people that actually went and got their heads henna tattooed, which is also a really cute option. It did take me a while though to get used to my bald head. It actually annoyed me a lot when people would come up to me and say, "Oh, you have the perfect shaped head." I knew that they were trying to make me feel better, but it didn't help all that much. I really would just put my hand on my head, feel the bald, and immediately just have PTSD. I needed to look in the mirror and tell myself that I was still beautiful. I was still me, and even if I felt lost, I knew that that girl would somehow still be inside. I deal with sadness and being uncomfortable with laughter. So I would continuously compare myself to Negasonic and 11 when my hair was buzzed. And then when I went bald, I walked around calling myself Mrs. Clean or Professor X. I even dressed up for Halloween as a skeleton because what's more fitting than a cancer patient fighting to stay alive than representing themselves as death, right? All in all, I actually ended up really enjoying being bald because I didn't have to shave. Getting ready in the morning was a breeze, and I'm super lazy when it comes to that. But not everyone's going to feel this way, and that's completely understandable. You need to feel comfortable with how you process this time in your life the best way that you know how. Some ideas to help during this time of your life might be have a funeral for your hair. Put up post-it notes around the mirrors of your house with words of encouragement. Do whatever it takes to help you get through the process. It's super important though to try and keep your daily routine as close to normal as you can. Taking a shower, for example, you should still shampoo and condition your head. Even though you don't have any hair, it's recommended that you use baby shampoo and conditioner. It's also going to help when your hair starts to grow back because when they do, your hair is literally like a baby's head. It's super fragile and very delicate to the touch. Know that your hair should come back. Not everything is 100% certain, everybody's body is different, but when it does come back, it may be completely different than what you're used to. But even that could be made into something fun to look forward to. One of my friends actually suggested turning my hair regrowth into Super Bowl boxes, and I thought that was a really clever and amazing idea. So I did it. I created a sheet where people could sign up to guess how my hair would come back looking like. So on the top, I would put the color, and on the side, I would put curly, straight, wavy, coily, you name it, I put it on there. It was something like $20 a square, and the winner would get a small gift card, and the majority of the proceeds would then be donated to the Fuck Cancer organization. Give yourself time to adjust to this new look, but try to keep your focus on the silver lining of this phase. There are so many ways that you can go about getting wigs, caps, beanies, head wraps, you name it, there's a place for it. If you're finding yourself at a roadblock with insurance companies or you're in financial distress, don't worry. There are plenty of organizations and plenty of other people who are able to help. If you need help in finding these resources, I will link them down below. As always, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm always here for you. Until next time, keep being a badass.